1 year ago today, I stood here before you, setting forth the plans that we have to improve our economy, bring jobs to our people, improve the ease of doing business, recalibrate our educational system to adapt to the new economy, lower and rationalize energy costs, boost agricultural production, enhance healthcare, and continue social programs for the poor and the vulnerable.
Last year, we launched the Philippine Development Plan and the Regional Development Plans for 2023 to 2028 with the goal of achieving social and economic transformation toward a prosperous, resilient, and inclusive society. 1 year after the launch, we are back on track toward achieving our long-term vision, the Ambition Natin 2040. We see progress in many of the plan's headline indicators. Though 2023 was a challenging year, we will apply the lessons we have learned moving forward to ensure that we stay the course towards our desired destination.
The economy grew by an average of 5.6% in 2023, making the Philippines among the best-performing economies in Asia. While risks persist, our efforts to manage inflation resulted in the headline inflation rate steadily moderating, starting at a peak of 8.7% in January and reaching a 21-month low of 3.9% in December. This placed us within our desired range of 2.5 to 4.5%. In the same period, food inflation declined from 11.2% in January to 5.5%. Nevertheless, we were unable to achieve our inflation goal for the full year of 2023, as both headline and food inflation rates fell short of our target range of 2.5 to 4.5%. Our economic expansion reflected the robust and vibrant labor market. For the full year 2023, the unemployment rate of 4.6% exceeds the 5.3 to 6.4% target range. Latest data show that the proportion of our wage and salary workers, an indicator of better quality jobs, slightly increased to 49.7% in 2023 from 49.6% in 2022. This is close to the planned target range of 50.3 to 50.7% for 2023. As a result of our initiatives and in line with the targets of our medium-term fiscal framework, the latest deficit to GDP ratio decreased to 5.7% in the first 3 quarters of 2023 from 6.5% in September 2022. The debt to GDP ratio dipped to 60.2% in September 2023 from 63.6% in September 2022. This allowed us to free up resources for much-needed services.
On the fiscal front, we posted an 8.8% increase in revenue collection as of November compared to the previous year.
Despite the many headwinds we encountered, poverty incidence by population decreased from 23.7% in the first semester of 2021 to 22.4% in the same period of 2023. This means almost 900,000 fewer Filipinos live in poverty today.
In 2023, our country moved up in the Global Innovation Index from 59th to 56th place out of 132 countries.
Across various sectors, we have been expediting programs, projects, and policies that foster growth and development.
To address the need for decent housing and to build a robust housing sector, the Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino or 4PH program was declared as this administration's flagship program.
The Marcos administration has also reshaped the country's investment climate to attract trade and investments from Asia and the rest of the world. To address the economy's long-standing infrastructure deficits, the NEDA board approved a list of 198 infrastructure flagship projects in 2023, worth around 8.7 trillion pesos. We remain committed to spending 5 to 6% of GDP this year. In 2023, we spent 5.9% of our GDP on infrastructure.
Through the Build Better More program, we will strive to reduce the cost of doing business, expand market opportunities, and create more high-quality jobs.
We also recognize the crucial role of innovation in boosting productivity. In 2023, the National Innovation Council, chaired by President Marcos, approved the National Innovation Agenda and Strategy document for 2023 to 2032. This document outlines the plan to enhance innovation governance and cultivate a dynamic innovation ecosystem.
Last year's initiatives in the social sector were aimed at ensuring food security, boosting health, recovering learning losses, developing skills, and enhancing our performance in education. This enabled us to strengthen our capacity to respond to shocks and build sustainable communities.
The government took initiatives to safeguard and secure its people, its territory, and its resources. To fast-track progress, the Marcos administration is pushing to improve public service, streamline regulations, strengthen participatory governance, capacitate institutions and the bureaucracy, and leverage technology.
We have learned so much from our experiences in the past year. Moving forward, we need to
streamline, digitalize, and enhance our tax administration systems by implementing the Ease of Paying Taxes Act, while pushing for the enactment of new revenue-generating measures to build a strong fiscal foundation.
expand the economic pie by attracting more investors and leveraging on the reforms that have been passed. A major effort will be made to improve the ease of doing business in the country and accelerate the execution of projects. We must carry out strategic trade policy, expand our trade relations, and diversify our export basket.
Strengthen the linkages of planning, budgeting, and operational units among and within agencies to address and prevent government underspending. We must professionalize the civil service to ensure that the bureaucracy runs smoothly even as administrations change.
Ensure food security for Filipinos by focusing on the availability, accessibility, and affordability of food, especially for the poor. We must raise agricultural productivity, improve post-harvest facilities and transport networks, encourage domestic and foreign investments along the supply chain, aggressively invest in R&D, and utilize trade to address gaps in food supply and keep food inflation in check.
Improve access to quality education, upgrade the skills of our workforce, and meet the emerging demands of the labor market. To ensure that our children will not be left behind, we will need to address the fundamental constraints by expediting learning recovery programs and addressing classroom shortages.
Build sustainable communities. The game-changing 4PH program needs to be supported through a holistic approach. Construction materials must be affordable. Workers must be provided with skills training. Suitable land and beneficiaries must be identified, and the processing of permits must be streamlined.
Ensure a more responsive and accessible government. The 𝐏𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐢𝐕 app must be further promoted to integrate various processes and services across all sectors and levels of government. The government must ramp up digitalization, optimize their use of resources, and establish monitoring and evaluation units to ensure the effectiveness of policies.
Applying these lessons we have learned will give us confidence that our socio-economic targets for 2024 will be met.
This year, we aim for a full-year GDP growth rate of 6.5 to 7.5% to raise per capita incomes and become an upper-middle income economy by 2025. This will be supported by low and manageable inflation, a labor force with access to more and better jobs, a stronger fiscal position, in the form of lower deficits and debt as a share of GDP, and an increasingly dynamic, innovative, and competitive economy. As the Marcos administration carries out its transformation agenda, we remain united in achieving our ambisyon of a matatag, maginhawa at panatag na buhay para sa lahat, where no one is poor and no Filipino is left behind.
Every Filipino has unanimously risen to the challenge that we have made to them to be part of our nation's future. Handa silang maghandog ng tulong dahil mahal nila ang kanilang kapwa Pilipino at mahal na mahal nila ang Pilipinas. And thus, with this in my heart, I know that the state of the nation is sound and is improving. Dumating na po ang bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.